Hello Pisces, welcome to your Angel Wise Love Tarot reading for March 2023. We're going to be looking at the energies around us as we go into the spring, as the Earth's bursting back into life where some of us are, and hopefully we're bursting back into life with it. So let's see what we have relating to spring, and then we will pull out the Rider-Waite to clarify. So what do we have for Pisces? We have, I give myself permission to pause, feel, self-care. This hasn't come out, I give myself permission to pause, but I think it's a really good one. I think we don't often do that. We feel like we have to keep ploughing through, a lot of us. I think it's really important that we do that. And if we don't, sometimes it's sort of forced upon us. I mean, it's not very welcome, but you know, we do need to have moments of reflection. So let's see what the Rider-Waite is telling us as relates to for you, Pisces. We have the World. We have the Four of Wands. So this could be, you know, this is a major arcana of the world. I mean, it really is, the world is your oyster. The possibilities are endless. It could be that you're going to travel to the other side of the world. You're going to sort of explore the world, or something like that. But it could be that there's an opportunity that's come in, and actually you need to reflect on that, or you need to think about that, or it could be that giving yourself permission to pause is recognizing that the world's your oyster. There's nothing stopping you. There's something you want to do. You've got the Four of Wands, which is, you know, it's a celebration, but it's also stability, like a happy home and things like that. And perhaps you're in that environment and it's enables you to pause, or it could be that you've got a happy home, and it's, you know, a happy home can still be a very you know, energy filled, not so peaceful homes. It's full of, you know, vibrant personalities, or kind of young children running around, or you know, lots of pets, or perhaps your life is really hectic trying to manage your family, or your, you know, coming from work, you've got rigid thing, and you're sort of saying, no, I, you know, love my situation, but I just need a bit of time to pause and think about what's out there. That's a possibility. Let's see how the other cards come out. So we've got feel. Sorry, I've got another froggy throat. So take a bit of water there. Sorry about that. We've got feel. Oh, something. Oh, two jumped out. So let's look at these. So we've got Temperance. We've got the Seven of Swords. So the Temperance is bringing things back into balance, and perhaps it is giving yourself permission to pause is helping to do that. But also you've got this Seven of Swords. This has come out a few times in these readings as well today. This is kind of moving away, stealing away, as it were, to avoid conflict, or to kind of perhaps make sure something doesn't become a battleground. So if this is anything to do with your sort of home life or family life, it could be, sometimes it's difficult to tell the people you care about that they've just become a bit much, because you don't want them to go away, and you don't want them to sort of change who they are. But equally, you know, perhaps there's some more consideration or more balance. Perhaps it is that, you know, you're doing the bulk of things, and perhaps there needs to be a bit more fairness around that, and a realisation that, you know, you can't do everything, you know, not superhuman. I mean, I'm sure you almost are, but it's, you know, come on, we all need a break. Maybe it's that. So let's see what it comes out. Especially if you've got self-care as well, actually, is the last one. I mean, sometimes it's hard to ask for that. I feel if you know, got dependence, it feels hard to ask for that. it feels like you're rejecting them, but absolutely not. You need to be coming from a strong place. And being Pisces as well, you're very sensitive, you'll be empathic, and you'll be picking up on, you know, if one child's struggling at school, or your partner is struggling at work, or, you know, perhaps lost something. I don't think they've like lost their job. Certainly the home life's still stable, but we'll see. And you feel like, well, I can't take time out for me, but you need it also. You know, you have to be strong in yourself to support anyone else. So, and you will be soaking up all their, you know, emotional dramas. So let's see. We had a couple drop out. I think that's me being a bit clumsy, so we'll try again. What do we have for self-care for Pisces? Pisces self-care, please. We have the Emperor, and we have Page of Swords. So the Emperor is a father figure, also a leader, and obviously an emperor. It could be, this could represent you, but it could also represent somebody in your life that has expectations, and perhaps there's a sort of a role that they play, and then a role that you play that fits into their role. You know, there are a lot of people who, you know, their satisfaction comes from their status or how they're perceived, and it's not necessarily saying a negative thing, but it's kind of how they were brought up, what they were brought up to value. And so, you know, this is why it can really, it's not just an ego thing. Sometimes when people have got themselves to a high position, and then for whatever reason, then that job goes, or what have you, you know, or even if you're head of a family or something like that, you like to have that role, and someone else comes in, and people are gravitating towards another, or there could be, you know, some shifts in there, shifting the status quo. It could even be the Page of Swords. I mean, this could represent someone else challenging their status quo. It could be you, sort of cutting through. This is like, you know, perhaps we need to look at things, how things are going. You know, you do this one thing, I do everything else. I need to be honest and truthful about this. Let's start looking at how we can change things so it's a bit fairer. Back to Temperance. So we all have the opportunity to get self-care in a way that makes sense to us, so it's much more satisfying. I mean, like I say, it looks like, you know, this sort of happy situation, and I think because of that, it does mean, although it's hard sometimes to speak to your loved ones and tell them things that are sometimes holding a bit of a mirror up, there's love there, and so the message can be delivered hopefully in a way that, you know, over initial reactions, being like, oh yeah, I see what's happening. And I think you, Pisces, you're so understanding, and it doesn't come naturally for everybody, but perhaps you can convey with them, perhaps this is you stepping into a dominant role and putting yourself out there, and in a way that perhaps they've never heard you before, and realization dawns, and a new way happens that maintains this family strength and solidity, and yet with everyone being at their best. You know, no one's depleting to boost someone else up. And also it could be, you know, some people are not naturally, well, I know couples who are very, very different. They come together, and you've got one person puts the perspective forward, and the other one is so far the opposite end, but for their partner they think, well, I might try that. Like, I mean, you still get people who, you know, a man might say, well, because you say, oh, pedicure's really relaxing, and a man might think, well, oh, men don't get pedicures. And no, not everyone feels like that, but I still think there's a school of thought in some people. But you know what, they might go, well, you know, if you come with me, and actually go, oh, that's great, you know, and they've got something out of it. So this, you know, because the love's there, they will listen, and they will be open-minded, and they might try something different, and they might think, actually, yes, I recognise that, you know, yes, I like to have a fast and furious squash game, and that gives me adrenaline, but actually there's some other ways of self-care that, I never thought about before. And perhaps we can all try it. Perhaps it's something we can do together. So I think this is a nice reading for spring for you. I think you get it, actually, Pisces. I think you recognise the need to give yourself permission to pause, and you do feel, absolutely, and I think you recognise the need for self-care, and I think we could all learn something from that. So hopefully you are in a situation where your loved ones listen to you, support you, and be open-minded about what you're proposing. So best of luck as we go into the spring, Pisces. Look forward to catching up again in April. Thank you. Bye.